Vijay.
Rohit. Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
We'll be actually beginning our tour right now to Delhi ByCycle. We'll have a co-guide who's Afsari, who's going to be at the very back, and we'll be riding cycles for next 4 hours into this part of the city called Old Delhi, or most often referred as Shahjahan in historical sense of it. We would be riding mostly on a very average speed. We would have packaged water bottles in our baskets, keep hydrating. It would actually get hot eventually. Also, these guys have already chosen the cycles. You guys could do later on once I'm done with my instructions. We're going to enter inside the city. This is called Shahjahanabad. To translate that name, it's a pretty Indian long name. It would actually mean city of or by Shahjahan. And Shahjahan is this emperor who built also Taj Mahal, the white marble 7th wonder of world that we know, like Delhi or India. Not Delhi, but India is supposed to have one of these wonder of world. And it was designed by the same guy. So this city that we are going to witness, it's not going to be as it was in 17th century. 17th century is the time when it was built, but particularly this wall is something that is what the city is somewhere kind of renowned for, like, you know, its fortification. It had, like, you know, these 14 gates to it, and this wall in particular that was attached to even the Red Fort that we're going to witness at the, like, somewhere at the later part of the tour itself. This wall is something that has not only been used by this empire, which was most often referred as Mughal Empire, but also this wall was somewhere used even by British later on once they took over Delhi. And I mean, we're going to walk, we're going to cycle past through another gate, couple of gates as we try to get inside the city itself. One of the first gate is going to be Delhi Gate. The second gate is going to be kind of a special gate. It's called Turkman Gate. I'll let you know about the gate itself later on. Street in particular, that street as is kind of renowned for this multiple, this ethnic diversity as it used to be in back in 17th century. People coming from different parts of the world, not only just from Delhi itself. There were a lot of Turks living in that particular street. Like, there were Hindus, there were Muslims out there. Like, it's just like kind of like really diverse street that particularly was. Where we are right now is one of the major circles or squares to the city. As we see a lot of streets meeting over here, exactly. That's what the name of this particular circle is. It's called Chawdi Bazaar. Chawdi comes from, like, it is also there in Marathi, as well as there is this mentioned in Persian language, which actually means places where you meet. together. This is another gate, and there's supposed to be a wall connected between these gates exactly. They have been taken down, of course, with like rapid urbanization eventually after 1947. Specifically, we had this population boom. And I'll tell you more about the population boom later on, but then supposedly there's supposed to be a wall that extends from this particular gate that we started from, the Delhi gate, and this is another gate which is called Turkman gate. Interestingly, it's named after this really famous Sufi saint back from 13th century. And interestingly, this Sufi saint's full name was Shah Turkman Diebani. And to translate that name, it's a long Indian name again, it says Shah Turkman the forest dweller. And apparently that kind of says that before the city was made, there used to be forest thriving over here. One of the most common stones that you find is Delhi quartz. Delhi quartz is a kind of very famous stone, particularly because it would have this quality of reflecting. If water would actually be spilled over it, it would reflect like a mirror. So that is something quite prominent to it. But of course, when this gates or any structure that were built in 7th century, they were not kept in mind to actually use more Delhi quartz, but more red sandstone. So red sandstone is something that you find on the top of it, which is basically the outer tile that you. Get to see a lot of these electrical wires hanging around. That is kind of a motive to the whole older city. We actually look at quite visually. The city was made established in 17th century. We didn't have electricity back in the day. So these electrical lines came up very later on, in the very beginning of 20th century. Flowers that we see is basically marigold, and there are varieties of marigold. Interestingly, these marigold, like the flower itself, has been mentioned in this, like, you know, this religious scripture basically called Vedas. And I mean, like, it's kind of used more for like mostly offering to god and goddesses.
There is Delhi ByCycle.
Delhi ByCycle.
8x7 कर लो ना। टाइम मिला।
Mosque that we have in the city, it is the second largest mosque in the city at least, and it's named called Fatehpuri Masjid.
Overwhelming to see that a lot of goods get transported on tricycles.
Oh yeah, that's the feeling. Like, you can't really get in, like, you know, those mini carts around over there. So hand carts are the thing.
Yeah.
Like there are like these lorries and trucks that do come around, but they can be just like on outside.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's one of the ways that they have to do it.
The cycle logistics is quite huge here, and it plays an important role for the trader's life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shipping from A to B.
Yeah.
So there's so many hidden stories.
Oh yeah.
The way you are narrating as we are progressing in the entire tour.
Definitely.
Very interesting ideas about what happened in the past.
For
and
sure.
You're dwelling it very in an interesting manner.
कोई बात नहीं आराम से देख के काम करो भाई।
Just wait for the traffic to slow down.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good, sir. Okay, so this is the heritage hotel which I was talking about, and I mean it's called Maiden's Hotel.
What is it called?
Maiden's Hotel.
Maiden's Hotel.
It's under this Oberoi hotel chain group, and this is the third hotel that they have in the city. It's one of the really interesting ones. It has just about 55 rooms. It does look like a big
Property.
Yeah, big property altogether. Recently there was this film shot, I think, wherein you had this Pankaj Tripathi film, I think.
Okay.
Murder something, it just came on. I mean, Delhi, when it's said to be, is said to be in this between river and the ridge. So we're in the ridge part of it, as in the more forest, more greenery that we see around. You get to see chipmunks, you get to see these burrows of you see a parrot head on the top. You find these burrows of barbets. I mean, this is the place where you would actually have peacocks, and there were deers coming over here until 1970s. And on the backside, what you see is the Lieutenant Governor's residential office space. We'll be actually moving closer to this interesting hotel that was built in 1905, which is right now a heritage hotel in Delhi. Kind of really interesting one. As we pass through, we get to see these missionaries, Christian missionaries, one of the first Christian missionaries that we had in the city. They have been converted now into schools, so we might end up seeing children going to these.
No holiday on a Saturday?
I know. You see, there were
we
children.
see a lot of
working,
children, going to school.
I mean, they were in our times, they were Saturdays off, but not anymore.
Okay. हम ही जा सकते हैं?
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
We'll help her, no?
नहीं अभी तो वो ऑर्डर.
Cookies.
चाय गिर गई.
अच्छा अच्छा.
A lot of new people, showing them the city.
foreigners जाता है.
Yeah, and definitely showing them the city that you grew up. So I mean, it's very momentary thing for me.
आप कितने साल से ये टूर्स कर रहे हो?
1.5 years.
एंड इतनी सारी कहानियाँ आप कैसे याद रखते हो?
I mean, that's the interesting part. As in, you start to experience it, start to live it, the stories. I don't know, somewhere I do enjoy reading stories around the city. As you somewhere have this connection. I mean, of course, my family does not really is from old Delhi.
Okay.
And they came as in this refugees. So I mean, I have very hard time connecting with the city, and it's just only through the cycling and reading about stories.
Yeah.
Somewhere I feel we are there some parts which I can feel connected with. economic possibilities and employment. And this is the wall that we have. This is more with like Northern Ridge. So over here there used to a gate used to exist over here called Mori Gate, and Mori Gate was actually named for this idea that there used to be this stream of water that used to pass. Mori. So I mean, like, I'll be talking about the stream of water again when we will go to Chandni Chowk. But this is one of the gates, and it's one of the northern gates to the city. So the British attack kar rahe the, British actually attacked more onto this side of the gate and also Kashmiri Gate. So we have a metro station now. So even though ruins the metro station gate, sorry, the gate that had been taken off. Interestingly, ये पूरा road is called Esplanade Road, and Esplanade as in like, you know, tree covered, and अभी यहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा trees दिखेंगे ओल्ड दिल्ली में, to be honest. And इसके पीछे there used to be this बाग that used to be called Begum का बाग, which I think had been taken down. So Begum का बाग was actually designed by Jahanara, the daughter of Shahjahan. She was into designing structures. Like even she was responsible for making this Chandni Chowk as well. So interestingly is that, like, you know, she designed that garden and then eventually she made a hotel. So Delhi mein you find a lot of these neighborhoods named or who would have this you know, suffix as Sarai. Mughalvi gardens ka speciality was that they would not have lawns. They would have more trees. Okay. They would have trees of fruits, of, like, you know, maybe like, you know, some medicinal tree that is there. So I mean, they would keep it very functional at the same time that it would have aesthetics to it. Right. So I mean, that is one reason why you still find a lot of trees around. Right. And now this park that we see in front, where you see a lot of these banyan trees, is basically Gandhi Park. Okay. So over there, like, you know, Gandhi came and actually gave a speech. So that is kind of. And
is this a no car street zone?
No car street, exactly. Non-motorized vehicle lane. Okay. We will find that on Chandni Chowk as well. So that is something that is there, quite prominent. Okay. It specifically was designed for people to walk and like cycle through it. Yeah. But now another menace is that, like, you know, we find these pedal rickshaws. Okay. And like if you come during the daytime, they will not even let you pass through. Okay. Like that is the amount of them that they have. Like quantity, yes. Okay. Find that garden and then. That's what the resort is. Interesting that is this. ये बीच में एक जो ये सीधी रोड जाते हुए दिख रही है. Like so this is basically non-motorized vehicle lane, and this is Chandni Chowk. Idea is that कि Jahanara Begum ने बनाया है. Yes, she designed it, and it was called Lehre-Bish. Translate किया English में तो Stream of Paradise. So that used to be one of the nice मतलब old Delhi back in 17th century.
देखा क्या था?
नहीं, not really. It's not there anymore.
Not there.
नहीं. तो बस उसका नाम रखा हुआ है. एंड देन इवेंचुअली ये वाला जो इलाका है, जो स्टार्टिंग वाला पार्ट है, until what you find गुरुद्वारा at the back, it basically what we have जोरी बता. तो यहाँ पे सारे अमीर रईस जाते, लाइक इवन जो खजांची,
बॉम्बे में भी है।
हाँ जवेरी बाजार.
हाँ, इवन लाइक खजांची हो, मुगल भी का खजांची वो करता था, उसकी हवेली भी इधर ही है.
जमा मस्जिद।
अपेरेंटली 3 गेट है इन इट्स इंसेप्शन, 3 गेट हुआ करते थे, बट अब काफ़ी बढ़ा दिए इन्होंने, कोई छोटे छोटे गेट खोल दिए साथ में, जैसे गेट नंबर 9 खोल दिया, तो ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 11 तक किया था.
रेड फोर्ट से कनेक्टेड है?
नहीं, रेड फोर्ट बोल रहा हूँ
उस तरफ, हाँ, ये एग्जैक्टली सामने।
हाँ, तो यहाँ पे सारा जंगल हुआ करता था, पूरा एरिया जैसे यूज्ड टू बी पूरा लाइक ट्री कवर. तो मतलब वही जैसे बोला जहाँ आ रहा, शी डिजाइन द सिटी इन अ वे दैट लाइक यू नो शी वुड नॉट कीप नेचर अवे फ्रॉम द पीपल. एंड इवन अब जो हम देखते हैं लाइक इन ओल्ड दिल्ली, लाइक मार्केट्स बीइंग आउट देयर, मार्केट्स पहले भी हुआ करती थी इन ओल्ड दिल्ली, इट्स जस्ट दैट लाइक पीपल वुड स्टे ऑन द टॉप ऑफ इट, लाइक देयर शॉप्स के ऊपर, सो दे डोंट हैव टू ट्रैवल फॉर देयर वर्क. Which is another reason why we have a lot of jams in the city, is that like you know our work and our residential areas are so far away that like you end up traveling so much. That is one of the like you know interesting idea how cities were designed inside this like.
और विजय जी कैसा लगा आपको?
बहुत बढ़िया. उम्मीद नहीं की थी कि इतना मज़ा आएगा. थरली इंजॉइंग इट.
उम्मीद से दुगना.
उम्मीद से दुगना. Back to the start point.
Exactly.
Thank you for a wonderful trip.
Super.
I'm glad that you guys
Yeah,
actually joined.
अरे
Yeah.
seriously.
I hope you guys have a good time.
Yes, we did.